Well, hello guys, and my name is Nick from Nick's Toy Garage, and today we're doing a custom restoration on this 1967 till 1969 Rolls Royce Silver Shadow. This model came in red with these awful looking wheels. I don't like them, but we're gonna keep those. So as you can see, the metal is a little bit corroded, I think. The model is missing a little bit of paint. The window is a little bit scratched up, but the springs are pretty good, I guess. This model has an opening trunk, that's awesome. So let's take a look at the base. As you can see, it's the number 24, and it has a little bit of paint missing. So first step, drilling out the rivets. It only has one rivet in the back. After drilling it out, I take my screwdriver and release... No, I don't take my screwdriver. And just release the base from the model. I noticed that the base was a little bit bent, so I took my my chicken force and just bent it back into shape. Next we have the interior with the spring attached and the glass. So you also have to drill out the glass, but really be careful not to drill through the roof, because then the model is quite useful. You can make a convertible out of it then. Oh, there goes the window. So as you can see, I drilled a couple holes around it, so to relieve the pressure a little bit, and the window just snaps right out. So next I want to try to take out the trunk, but as you can see, it's actually been held in by the casting, so I don't think you can take it out. Well, there definitely is a way, but I just don't want to do it. So let's get the paint of this model, taking my usual amount of paint stripper to get this lovely red paint off. I was kind of debating to keep the red paint or just to make it a restoration or just paint another color, but I already said it was going to be a custom restoration, so yes, I'm going to change the color. So let's see what the base is going to tell us. I want to take off the wheels and take off the axles, because as you can see, the axle is quite bent. You can see it a little bit better in a later bit. So how I do it, I just take my Dremel and take off this little metal edge that is actually holding on the wheel. So you can just hold the Dremel against the metal edge and let the axle actually spin around, so you don't put pressure on the other side of the axle. So the wheels come off, and you can see the axle is just a banana. I like bananas. Let's do the same thing with the second axle. And finishing off, we need to get the paint off the base, so we can paint it later. So usually it takes about 30 minutes to get this result. As you can see, the paint almost everywhere came off, so let's take my own toothbrush and get the paint of this model. We're going to speed this up because this takes quite a while. So on the model itself, the paint didn't really come off, so I'm going to concentrate on the base a little bit more. So you can see I tried to use Scotch-Brite, but it just wasn't coming off, so I decided to just give it another dose of paint stripper and leave it for another hour, just taking a little lid and putting it on the model, so I guess the paint stripper works better then. Oh well. So after a little bit of Scotch-Briting, we get this result. It's almost a mirror. You can see me. No, you can't. So let's paint the base black. I didn't use primer. I usually always use primer, but this time I just decided to go black, and it came out awesome. So next, an hour later, we take out the remaining paint and use Scotch-Brite to take out again the remaining paint and the little imperfections in the model. Finishing off, I take my screwdriver and get off the paint. So for primer, I use a fine surface primer by Tamiya, shaking up the can and painting on 2 layers of primer. So letting the first one dry and then applying the second one when it hardens. So for color, I was torn between these two, the buff color, no idea what it is, and the gray. I choose the buff color. I wanted to really try this one, and I think it looks really good with the luxuriousness of this model. Yes, difficult word. I can't pronounce it. No, I can't. So this is after the paint cures, and on to my favorite bit, painting on the little details. So I started off with the grille, After that, the headlights, the front grille, and I just love doing these fine details with my paintbrush. And last but not least, on the front, I painted those little side markers. Then I painted on the door handles, the rear bumper, and the little, don't mind my blue fingers, you can see in next week's video, I forgot to wear gloves. And finishing off with painting my taillights red. So now I apply a clear coat to the model and let it dry for a couple hours. So let's get to the base. So let's slide on the wheel, get it through the base. And how I usually do is I just take my big table vise, put the axle between it and just crush it. I know there are better ways, but I just crush it and then you get this result. It's not perfect, but it works and it's a really good budget way. So looking at these wheels, they didn't look good at all. So I decided to paint them in the same color I used as my grille and bumpers. So I did polish the windshield off camera, but there was a little bit of a red speck on the back of the, you can see it in the end of the video, and I have no idea how to take it out. So if you guys have any advice on polishing the window, please let me know in a comment section down below. Also, there were a little bit of scratches on the windshield. I'm not good at polishing the windshield. Sorry. So when the windshield is in, I just put in the interior. I just left it white because it really suits with the buff. What is buff? Buff color. It's a strong color. So when the interior is in, I just take the base. It got a little bit of a, how it's called? You just plump it in there. First the front and then you snap in the back. And I use a little bit of glue to hold it in place. Normally you use screws, but this time I decided to use glue again. So this is it before and after. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. And you can see the little speck on the rear windshield right now. Please tell me how we can take that out. Please, I don't know. You can't feel it at all. I'm rambling again. Bye!